The crypto media platform CoinDesk from Digital Currency Group in an all-cash deal. It's the latest move in crypto for our next guest, Tom Farley, CEO of Bullish, and formerly the president of the New York Stock Exchange, which I think that's half of your cachet right there.
And friend of the show. That's an equal part of my cachet.
Friend of the show.
I thought you would give me that
Long-time,
piece.
Tall, dark, handsome. You got it all. Smart.
Go on. I'll wait.
You got it all. Had crappy golfer, but you got it all. You got it all. Friend of Brian Steele, co-friend. But no, seriously, part of it is this guy ran the New York, crypto bulls.
Right.
This guy ran the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
He's all in on Bitcoin and crypto now, right? They use that as a, just kind of credibility.
Right.
For that
and
asset.
A year ago, like my father was looking at me saying, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
You ran the New York Stock Exchange.
Where did I go wrong?
And now you're in crypto. And crypto had lost its mind a little bit. It was all about frog coins and monkey drawings and fraud hero worship. And I took some breaks. I took some new hobbies.
They were apes.
Like gardening.
I believe they were apes. I don't think they were
apes.
Are apes monkeys?
There were monkeys as well. There were both.
And vampires
at that time. But I doubled down, Joe, because I think first of all, I think it's already coming back, and I'm making a bet.
Well, that's what you're saying about this acquisition. Is that for the next bull run in crypto, you want to have CoinDesk as a media arm of your company, because the bull run is already starting.
Yeah, the bull
in your view.
In my view, the bull run's already started. I make no promises how long it'll continue or to what extent, but the winners in this next wave will be well-run, trusted companies that are adult, that are compliant. CoinDesk is a great example of that. They are, present company excluded, they are the go-to source for crypto news. They broke the Sam Bankman-Fried story. They are award-winning journalists. They have a conference business that's the longest running, largest gathering for crypto, Consensus. It's May 29th in Austin. And they have an index business that I'm really excited about that already has $25 billion benchmark to it. And I think that there's some real synergies with Bullish, the exchange we run. So it's a business that's positioned to really do well in a recovery.
You got Matt running editorial, right?
Yeah. I think
also credibility.
Right, because look, me personally as the CEO, if I go in and I show up in the newsroom and I say, oh, you need to cover me, and you need to cover me like the North Korean press corps covers Kim Jong-un.
You did that to us when you came in as a contributor.
I did. So maybe my reputation preceded me.
You did. No.
But Matt is there to ensure we respect editorial independence, journalistic independence.
What would you do if you were like the dog chasing the FTX bus and you actually caught it? What would happen? Is that going to happen?
So, thanks for asking. I anticipated that possibly you would. As you might expect, I'm limited with respect to what I can say contractually. But look, we are hanging around the rim with FTX. A lot of creditors got hurt very badly. I'll give you a quick anecdote. I was in Hong Kong 2 months ago, and one gentleman I was out with, great guy, told me a story where he went out on his balcony and thought about ending his life because he had lost his entire life savings in FTX. This was a one-on-one story to me. So if we can help creditors, we will. It's unclear, but from what I can see from the public information, the estate here is running a very good process. They're bringing in a lot of assets for the estate. And that's really all I can say in terms of our involvement.
What would a crypto exchange look like today? Like what would be different about it? Is this just having regulatory oversight and approval? Is that the biggest issue?
Yeah, it's the biggest issue. I mean, most of the legacy exchanges are caught up in criminal investigations, massive civil investigations, and they're in a state of non-compliance. And that's just, look, it isn't going to work. We can all wish, I think we have a libertarian streak, and we can wish that it would work like that, but it just simply does not. And the winning exchanges are going to be trusted, they're going to be compliant, and they're going to support and bolster the digital assets industry. I mean, it is what it is. I can rail against it, but that's the position we're in.
I mean, bullish was going to be part of a. I mean, this has been kind of a bumpy road to get to where you are right now. How many employees now?
We have approaching 300. It's bullish.
And a lot in Hong Kong. I mean, it's global. Right?
Yeah, it's global business. We have about 100 plus in Hong Kong. But bullish, we don't spend a lot of money on marketing. That's why you and others probably don't know too much about it. It's probably the fastest growing crypto exchange. I say probably only because maybe there's one out there I'm not aware of. We're now number 2 or number 3 in spot, Ether and Bitcoin, the two bellwethers every day. We're the 4th or 5th largest spot exchange. We're launching futures this month with a fair wind. We need a few things to fall into place, including regulatory approval, but we're going to launch futures. So that business is doing very well. Slow and steady wins the race here, Joe. Highly compliant. We have 25 coins, not 7,000. You have to pass a rigorous set of standards.
You know all these people in charge of whether there's a spot ETF. You know them all. They all trust you and they all know you from your prior life. What the hell is happening? Is it something that's going to happen next year? Is it going to be 2025? What's the deal? What's the problem?
I'm not gonna give you a specific date. I guess I'm a little less optimistic of the immediacy of an approval. In other words, like November or even December. The current chairman and the SEC have said that they believe that pretty much everything in crypto, with the exception of Bitcoin, sometimes Ethereum, and possibly stablecoins, are securities. And that securities, at least in the United States, need to trade on a nationally recognized exchange, and they do not today. And I think these two issues, at the moment, are interwoven. That doesn't mean they can't be decoupled, but I think there's a view that, hey, if these don't trade on an exchange, how do we know that the underlying prices are trustworthy? The thing about Bitcoin that gives me some optimism is everyone acknowledges Bitcoin is not a security, including the regulators. So possibly the Bitcoin ETF does go ahead more quickly, which would be great for the industry, because money will flood into the industry with the Bitcoin ETF. It's just easy to buy. People believe in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to be here. Bitcoin's a great invention. It just is. It is a store of value. I know it's volatile. It is a store of value.
Some people think it's a discovery, not an invention. It was already there. It was always there.
I'll buy that. I'll buy that. You've been on Bitcoin.
Of course.
You've been on Bitcoin since the earliest days.